Hi guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to each one of you who are watching this lecture. We are now on chapter 11. The topic is DNA typing. So today we're going to determine the purpose, the what, the how, okay, and the usage of DNA typing in the field of criminology, specifically in the forensic chemistry and toxicology. So before we proceed on the topic DNA typing, let us first learn what is DNA. Okay? Your DNA stands for deoxy, okay? Deoxyribonucleic acid. So, the nature of this is a nucleic acid. Okay? Now, I want you to understand that in this cell component found within us stores all genetic information about human beings. Okay? Now, when I say genetic information, this means from the physical aspect up to chemical, up to biological, and all the mechanisms, reactions that are going through inside us are governed by the DNA. I'll repeat, dito sa DNA natin, nandito po lahat ng mga genetic information. Okay? Yung package of all informations na nasa sa atin. Okay? Yung physical, yung chemical, yung mga biological reactions, appearance, traits, characteristics. Okay? Ano pa? Traits. Um, physicalities. Features. Lahat po yan ay galing sa DNA. Mula buhok hanggang talampakan. Lahat po yan ay nasa DNA. Yung itsura ng fingers mo, yung itsura ng kuko mo, yung eyelids mo, yung kilay mo, yung pilik mata mo, lahat ng mga details sa atin kung bakit kayo, kung bakit tayo gwapo at magaganda is because of the DNA. So please take note of that one. Okay? Now, meron tayong tinatawag na uh, cell, right? Actually, kung ang gagawin natin, if our body is like a puzzle and I'm going to remove, okay, the body parts, ang pinaka, okay, functional unit ng ating katawan ay yung tinatawag natin na cell. This is basic elementary, okay? Basic high school science, 'di ba? We all understand that cell is one or cell is the smallest basic unit of life. Tama? The cell is the basic unit of life. Cell, kapag naisama yan sa group of cells, ito po ay magiging tissue. Correct? And the tissue grouped together, okay, becomes an organ. And an organ grouped together becomes organ system. An organ system makes the human being. That's why you must not and you should not complain if you are maitim, maputi, straight ang buhok, kulot ang buhok, wavy ang buhok. Huwag kang mag-complain kung maliit ka, kung matangkad ka, kung katamtaman ka lang, kung black ang mata mo, blue ang eyeballs mo, brown ang eyeballs mo, kung manipis yung lips mo, kung makapal yung lips mo, kung matangos yung ilong mo o hindi, malaki yung tenga mo, katamtaman yung tenga mo. What I'm saying is, all of the features, when you look at in the mirror, do not ever complain. Do not question your feature. Do not question your physicality. Do not question your body type, your height, your weight. Why? Because that's the information from your DNA. Okay? Ginagawa lang ni DNA ang trabaho niya. Bakit? Kung ano ka ngayon, yan ay pinaghalong DNA ng nanay at tatay mo. Correct? Nung yan ay nagsama, ikaw ang naging bunga. Mas namamagnify lang or mas evident lang, okay, kung sino talaga ang mas nagmahal sa kanilang dalawa. Correct? Di ba yun yung sabi nila na kung sino ang mas kamukha mo, yun ang mas nagmahal. Okay? Now, all of the cells contains genetic information. Sabi ko nga, if we are going to study, okay, and go to the details of the body, kung meron lang tayong spaceship na pwede nating paliitin ang ating sarili, okay, tapos mamamasyal tayo sa realm or universe ng body natin at ng cell. Actually, yung cell na pinakamaliit na, meron pa palang mas maliit sa kanya. Because if you go through the planet cell, yan, ginawa ko na siyang planet, ano? If you go inside the planet cell, there you will see two portions or two types. We have the cytoplasm. This is the swimming pool inside the cell. And cytoplasm, ito pala to. Okay. Ito, cytoplasm. Tapos ito, nucleus. Okay? Nucleus is the core of the cell. Okay? Now, inside the nucleus, okay, going deeper and going smaller, located the chromosome. Okay? Inside the nucleus, okay, we'll find chromosome. What is chromosome? These are coiled X shape. Okay? Coiled X shape. Ayan. Coiled X shape with tightly packed nucleotides. Okay? So these tightly packed nucleotides, okay, if we're going to scatter them, ito na po yung mga spiral DNA. Okay? These are the spiral DNA. And the DNA, okay, is a helical structure. Okay? Helical structure or double helical structure, tapos spiral shaped. Okay? spiral shaped uh, yeah, nucleic acid, where all, okay, where all informations are found. So I do hope you are getting my point. Now, lahat po ng nasa katawan natin, okay, hair, blood, body fluids, lahat po ay source ng DNA. Okay? Pwede kang makakuha ng DNA sa lahat ng parts ng katawan. Now, in relation to crime scene or in relation to criminology, here are the major samples to where we get DNA. Una, syempre, sa buhok. Right? Hair parts such as hair roots or follicles. Pwede tayong maka-extract ng DNA dyan. Second, blood. Of course, blood is a body fluid. Okay? It can be RBC, WBC. Next, saliva. Because it's easy to extract DNA on saliva. Anong gawin mo? You just spit and then maglaway ka lang. Pwede ka nang pwede na nating makuha yung DNA. What else? Bones. Ano pa? Internal organs. And syempre, ito ang pinaka isa sa mga common ay yung semen. Okay? Dahil dun sa sperm, meron pong DNA dyan na kung saan pwede nating ma-extract. Now, saan mo gagamitin? Kung nakakuha ka ng DNA in the sperm, then that might be obvious. The crime scene or the case ay sexual assault. Correct? Kung hair, yung gagamitin mo, specifically hair follicles, as a medium of evidence to extract DNA, then most probably the case would be drug test. Okay? Or the determination of a person if he or she is using drugs, okay, for a long period of time. Ngayon, kapag ka bones, syempre, pwedeng sa patay, pwede ring sa buhay. Ayan, medium of physical evidence. And so on and so forth. But regardless, okay, whatever medium or whatever evidence na makuha natin dito sa mga minention ko, hair, semen, blood, saliva, bones, and internal organs, please take note that all of them, possessing DNA. Okay? And all of these samples, are good sources of DNA. Okay? So, now, we know already the structure of DNA. So it's like a ladder. Spiral po siya. Tama? Okay, ladder yan. Spiral. That's why it's called helix or helical structure. Now, it was illustrated na mayroong mga parang hagdan-hagdan, tapakan or stairs dun sa DNA. Ito yung mga guhit sa gitna. to look like a web-like structure. Ang tawag po dito sa mga guhit na ito, okay, ay nucleotide. Okay? Mga nucleotide base pairs. Sir, bakit po sila tinawag na base pairs? Kasi ito, may mga partners yang mga yan. Yung mga guhit na yan, hindi lang po basta-basta guhit. Okay? Kasi itong mga yan ay by partner. Kunwari itong blue, ang partner niya, syempre, red. Tapos, maglagay tayo ng yellow. Okay, yung partner ng yellow ay, ano? Sige, lagay natin green. Okay? So, tanda natin, meron tayong green, tapos meron tayong yellow, meron tayong blue, at meron din tayong red. Okay? So, etong green, sabihin na natin, ito po yung cytosine. Etong yellow, ito po yung guanine. Ito pong blue, ito ay adenine. Etong red, ang tawag po dyan ay thymine. Okay, so tandaan nyo lang ha. Tandaan nyo lang. Ang mnemonic o yung tinatawag na mga nucleotide base pairs, okay, ang mnemonic natin dyan ay GCAT. Ano yung GCAT? Guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine. Nakuha po? So ano yung GCAT? Ito ay mga base pairs. Nakuha po. Now, yung mga base pairs na ito, bakit kaya sila tinawag na base pairs? Kasi magkakapartner yung mga yan. Okay? Tandaan po natin na ang laging magpartner sa mga base pairs na ito ay sina adenine at saka thymine. Tapos, si guanidine tsaka si cytosine. Nakuha? So, ganito po yung structure ng ating DNA sa katawan natin ngayon. Okay? Now, as you have noticed na yung DNA spiral siya tapos continuous segments of base pairs. So, ibig sabihin, yung kung magbe-base tayo dito sa portion na ito, okay, itong first portion na ito, makikita natin, binubuo ito ng adenine, tapos thymine, guanine, cytosine. And then, susunod ulit, adenine, guanine, second part, cytosine, guanine. Ganon. Tapos, guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine, so on and so forth. Ganyan lang po yung pattern ng nasa DNA natin. Okay? Yan. So, anong tawag natin dito sa part na to? Ang tawag sa part na to ay tinatawag na sugar phosphate. The sugar phosphate is the backbone for the nucleotide base pairs. Nakuha po? Okay, now, so, as in, cycle lang mga to. ATGC, okay, ATGC, and so on and so forth. Tama? So, lahat ng ang laman ng mga yan ay mga informations, genetic informations. Paano ba ang metabolism mo? Okay? Ano ba ang dapat na height mo lang? Pwede ka pa bang mag-exceed? Pwede ka pa bang mag-stagnant na? Okay? Paano yung itsura, hulma ng iyong buto, yung kuko mo? Lahat ng mga questions mo at nakikita mo when you look at the mirror, nasa DNA po natin. Okay? Okay, so bakit ko po ito sinasabi? For you to understand, okay, kaya ko ito sinasabi at kaya ko ito sinishare kasi may kinalaman po ito sa tinatawag na DNA profiling. Mas i-gets nyo muna yung concept para makuha natin yung idea ng tinatawag na PCR at electrophoresis. Correct. Okay? Are you with me? Okay. To continue our discussion, DNA typing, okay, it says in your module, is a procedure. Okay, so DNA typing is a procedure wherein the DNA, ito yon, okay, the DNA extracted from a biological sample is tested. It is a procedure where DNA extracted from a sample. Okay, ano yung mga sample na to? Blood, semen, hair, organs, okay, are tested. Okay, nakuha po. Nakapag-extract ka mula doon sa sample, tines ito. Also, DNA typing is known for the newest tool for personal identification. DNA typing is the newest tool for personal identification. It is also a process to provide, okay, that's number 2. Number 3, it is also a process to provide identification of genetic sequences. Guys, you have noticed that yung DNA spiral siya, tapos meron siyang nucleotide base pairs na sequence. Now, ano ang kahalagahan para malaman ninyo ito? Bakit may mga genetic disorders? May mga genetic diseases? Guys, ganito kasi yan. Kapag ang mga ito, base pairs, nagkaroon ng abnormalities, na damage, naputol, nagkulang, hindi sila nagmatch, naging impaired sila. 'Di ba alam natin, meron tayong adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine. Now, pag dito naputol 'yan, deletion, o kaya nagkulang 'yan, o kaya nadagdagan 'yan sa part na to or saan mang site ng DNA, nagkakaroon ng genetic disorders. Okay? Halimbawa, ito, normal lang na dalawa, pero ang nangyari due to toxins, poisons, okay, ang nangyari, nabura, naging ganyan yung DNA. Yung ganyang ayos niya, magkakaroon ng regeneration yan, ng same ayos. So instead na kumpleto, pwedeng madagdagan, pwedeng mabawasan. Pagkatapos, kung halimbawa 3 na yung nananalaytay dito, then that is known as imbalances or impairment. Kaya, hindi lang po mahalaga ito sa mga laboratory sciences at saka sa medical field, but also it is an awareness and information in the field of criminology para magets din natin na kaya pala may mga may mga taong na ipapanganak na 4 lang yung daliri o kaya sobrang laki ng daliri. Ganon. Hindi pantay, imbalance because of the what we call genetic mutation. And genetic mutation is a type of acquired diseases. Anong ibig sabihin ng acquired diseases? Habang nagbubuntis yung isang magulang, baka napapabayaan niya yung kanyang sarili. Yan. Causing impairment during the reproduction of a child, or habang nasa buwanan yung bata sa loob ng sinapupunan, nagkakaroon na ng damage. Kaya nagiging or na-acquire yung tinatawag na genetic disorder or genetic diseases. However, okay, go back to our topic. I want to introduce to you the concept of DNA typing, also known as the DNA profiling. Please take note, guys, that there are stages of DNA profiling. So, nalaman na natin, di ba? Nalaman na natin ang DNA ay ganito, helical structure. At dahil helical structure siya, okay, actually, kapag ka magdi-DNA profiling tayo, pwede po ito, okay, ito, na-i-extract natin sa sample, di ba? So, ganyan natin siya ma-extract. Halimbawa, kung ang sample natin ay blood, kumuha tayo ng DNA. Okay? Take note ito na yung procedure ng DNA profiling. Sa DNA profiling, may stages. Una, magko-collect ka ng sample. Halimbawa, ang ginamit nating sample, blood. And then pangalawa, i-extract natin ang DNA. Ganito yan. Now, pangatlong stage, yung DNA natin, kailangan po yan, okay, guntingin. Ano yan na? Hindi po yan double-headed sperm. Yan po ay scissor. Okay? Okay. So, enzymes or through an enzyme, okay, DNA are cut into pieces. But before it is cut into pieces, okay, DNA must be straightened. 'Di ba? Ang DNA ganito, helical, 'di ba dapat ganyan? Para magunting mo ito, kailangan mo munang i-straighten ang DNA. Mula sa helical structure niya, okay, kailangan mong binatin. Okay? Pag nabanat mo na yan, meron tayong tinatawag na enzymes that would cut these DNA strand. Okay? Ito yon. Pag halimbawa na-cut na etong mga DNA strand na to, syempre magiging ganito na sila, di ba? Kunwari, ito yung first portion, ito yung second portion, ito yung third portion. So, magiging ganyan na sila. Are you getting the idea? So, as you can see, in just one strand of DNA, we are able to collect, okay, or we are able to amplify one strand of DNA to billions of copies. In just one strand of DNA, that would be amplified to billions of copies. That's why one DNA is enough as a piece of evidence in crime scene cases that can be used, okay, in the court kung halimbawang kailanganin man siya. Nakuha. So ngayon, ang mangyayari kapag itong mga DNA na to na pira-piraso na, the fourth stage will be gel electrophoresis. I have discussed already gel electrophoresis in the laboratory. I uploaded it. You can scan it. Right? Kung hindi nyo pa naintindihan, then you can scan on that part how the gel electrophoresis works. Kasi, once the DNA are split and cut into pieces, okay, we're going to place them in the gel electrophoresis. Di ba yung gel electrophoresis, ganito. Dito sa dulo ng gel, meron tayo ditong mga ano to, itong part na to, yung tinatawag na legend. Ibig sabihin ng legend, dito yung names ng suspect. And also, dito mo ilalagay yung mga sample. Because your gel electrophoresis has two charges. Again, it is gel to facilitate the movement, of the DNA fragments from anodes, or from, actually this is the anodes negative, tapos cathode to. Ay no, sorry, baliktad. This is the cathode negative, anode positive. There are two charges in gel electrophoresis. Pagkalagay mo ng sample dito, eto na yun, no? Na-split na siya. Meron tayong two molecules. We have the larger fragment and the small fragment. So all of the larger fragment will stay here because they move slowly. And all of the small fragments moves faster. Okay? Yan. So lahat ng mga nandito, ito small fragments. Ito naman large fragments. So their migration forms a pattern. Okay? That depends on the movement. Kasi kaya siya tinawag na electrophoresis because electro means electric. Okay? Phoresis means migration. So, this is a separation, through electric migration of larger and smaller fragments known as what we call band pairs. Okay? Bakit sila band pairs? Kasi ganito yung kanilang itsura. Tama? Then, you're going to stain them using fluorescent stain, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, to make them visible.